Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, Jay-Z Courtside, coming at y'all today on, what day is today, bro? Is today Wednesday? Is today Wednesday? Yeah, today's what? On Wednesday, May 6th. Okay, bad start. Good morning, everybody. I hope your basketball team won last night. I know there's only 2 chances for that because mine did. I hope everybody's doing absolutely phenomenal on this wonderful Wednesday morning. Good morning to everybody. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in everywhere. I'd like to start with you podcast individuals. I apologize for the Spotify and Apple upload taking longer than anticipated yesterday. Something was wrong with the RSS links and other boring things that I don't want to bother y'all with. Basically, it's up now. If you guys want to go check out yesterday's episode, go for it. I said it would be a short episode and it ended up being over an hour long. Podcast listeners, please do me a huge favor. All of you guys that are listening on Spotify and Apple, there's quite a few of you guys. Please do me a solid and leave a 5-star rating review. It would help me so much, all right? Even if you don't listen on Spotify, just go to Jay-Z Courtside. The links are all in the chats and the descriptions everywhere. Just go drop a 5-star review. Say, man, this guy Jay-Z, he does have the biggest nose. And then, obviously, everybody in the TikTok, YouTube, I do appreciate y'all very much. Be sure to spam those like buttons, drop the subscribe, follow, all that jazz. We do these episodes Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern and potentially over the weekends as well, so long as we have good NBA basketball on Friday and Saturday nights. I hope everybody's doing well. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. We only had 2 games last night, and neither one of them were really close. I mean, the Cavs-Pistons got close, but I guess the Lakers-Thunder got close in the third quarter as well, until the Thunder decided to sit up and try. We're going to go a little bit more in-depth today. So Pistons fans, Cavs fans, Thunder fans, Lakers fans, I want you guys to use this episode as somewhat of a guide to show you guys the real reasons why you lost game 1, as well as the real reasons why you guys weren't nationally favorited in these matchups. So today's episode is going to be a lot for the Cavs and Lakers, more so than it will be for the Pistons and Thunder. Okay, guys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in as always. Let's just get right into today's show. Twitch chat, y'all know what you guys got to do. This is super easy. Y'all know what you got to do. All y'all got to do is sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, an energy drink, whatever, and enjoy today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just go ahead and get started. I might have to restart the TikTok because it looks glitched, but we'll worry about that later. Let's get started and talk about the Detroit Pistons defending home court and winning against the Cleveland Cavaliers in game 1, 111-101. Now, there's a couple really important fun facts about this. The Pistons ended a 12-game losing streak against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. Now, I think it's pretty obvious why the Pistons ended that 12-game losing streak and why they had that 12-game losing streak to begin with. His name is LeBron James. LeBron James is no longer on this roster. So the Pistons go ahead and finally break that 12-game losing streak against the Cavaliers in the playoffs. And on top of that, it's the first time they won a game 1 since 2008. I know that's crazy to believe, but they got swept in 2009. They got swept in 2016. They got swept in 2018. And yeah, they lost the first game against the Knicks last season. And they lost the first game against the Magic in the first round. So now this is the first time they've won a game 1 in a playoff series since 2008 as well. Some very fun streaks that were broken. And last night, I thought it was a really fun game to watch. In fact, I got to address something immediately, okay? For the first time ever, Peacock muted the fans. Not muted, but really turned them down like what ESPN does. Immediately in the first quarter, you couldn't hear Grant Hill or I believe it was Noah Eagle. You couldn't hear either of them because the fans were so damn loud to start the game. And then next commercial break, and if you guys watch this live, especially if you have a sound bar like I do in my living room, you could hear only the commentator's voice. And if you guys watch this game back, if you guys can watch the full game, not condensed, if you go back and watch this game after the first time out, you don't hear anything other than the commentators. And then slowly you hear them cranking the audience and the arena volume up slowly, and then they stopped it. And then I was like, well, that's bullshit. I was like, they just straight up muted the crowd for a solid 20 seconds, and you can hear them dialing the crowd slowly but surely up. And then all of a sudden, what do I see on Twitter? This is the lamest playoff crowd I've ever seen. Detroit fans suck. This isn't a playoff game. And then I see all of my people I know, like my real IRLs that are at the game, and they're saying, I lost my hearing last night. That was the loudest arena I've ever been in. That Dennis Jenkins dunk at the end, that blew the top off of the building. So don't buy the fake garbage on Twitter. We got into a long rant about this yesterday morning in the pod. Don't buy any of that BS. You can hear the broadcast mute the crowd and then slowly crank it up. Now, what I will say, Pistons fans, nobody cares about your outfits. They gave y'all so many tough ass shirts. They did a white and black, like in each row, in each column. And they just wanted to rock their fits out. That's how Detroit is. I've been going to Pistons games my whole life. They don't care about the shirts. They want to wear the hell out of their fits. And nobody put the shirts on. It sucks. It sucks. But onto the game itself. Last night, it felt like a regular season game. Now, hold on. Listen to me for a second. There's one tweet that really just defines how this game went. Life without Orlando defenders guarding us. And this is true. And I hope Mark and I hope my Magic fans are still tuning in, because, oh my God, I've never seen a playoff game with no defense played on for one team. I've never seen it. I've never seen one team just straight up not play defense all game. And I have to give credit where credit is due. And again, everything I say, I'm reiterating that it's one game, ladies and gentlemen. I see TikTokers saying Pistons fans are so annoying. I just said it was one game. You're mad at me for saying it was one game. TikTok is telling me to shut the fuck up. I'm not going to. This is a show. We're going to talk about the one game that just happened. All right. In this one game, I have to emphasize that so that Cavs fans in my TikTok don't call me annoying and tell me to shut up. I have to give credit to the Orlando Magic. People were talking about them like they were an 8th seed. Like they were an 8th seed. Bro, they were a game out of the 6th seed. They were a game and a half out of the 5th seed. Right? They were not an 8th seed. They were hurt. They weren't consistent. All of this. And to see the Magic and their defense and how they match up well against the Pistons, this series, if the Cavaliers continue playing like this, I was wrong on my prediction. I was wrong. Now, I want everybody to hear me and hear me well, all right? I said Cavs in 6. I'm a Pistons fan. If there's a team that I am too hard on, I think too hard on, is the Detroit Pistons. Because I don't want to come off as a biased, toxic fan. But last night, if the Cavaliers play defense like that, it'll be Pistons in 4 or 5, because they were not defending at all. And the reason I said this feels like a regular season game is because the Pistons went so deep into their roster and they survived a Cade bad game. That was the worst game I've seen Cade play since Victor Wembanyama in the regular season, maybe 2 months ago. I have not seen Cade have that bad of a game all season. It's been months. He was horrible. Now, I have to talk about the elephant in the room because Cavs fans are coping right now. And I have to point something out. The Detroit Pistons had 35 free throws. The Cavaliers had 16. Let's talk about it. Cavs fans, I'm looking at you right now when I say this, okay? I went back because I do my research. I'm not just a dumbass talking head on the internet. I did my research. I watched this game back twice. I put 3 up, but I put twice. I watched this game back twice. I watched it live. I watched it again last night, and I watched it again this morning. I went ahead and counted the layups that the Cleveland Cavaliers attempted. Layups. I'm not talking floaters. Okay? The entire game, layups and dunks counted. They attempted 11 layups in this basketball game. They hit 4. Okay? And they got fouled on 3 of them. Let's talk about why the free throw discrepancy is so obvious. The points in the paint are 44. Okay? Both teams had 44 points in the paint. The Detroit Pistons all season long, they were top 5 in the NBA, top 5 in the NBA at free throws attempted a game. But they were the worst. They were the number 2 worst free throw shooting team in the NBA. You know what the difference is with the point paints that the Pistons got and what the Cavs got? Go back and watch the game, guys. Donovan Mitchell and James Harden were only taking floaters. Every paint bucket they got were floaters. I don't know about you guys, but when I was in middle school and high school, and my coach would bench me and scream at me for taking floaters, it's because I'm soft. It's because I'm soft. I'm 6'4". Stop taking floaters. You're a big man. Get in the paint. Take a layup. Stop taking floaters. Enough of that soft shit. Well, last night, Donovan Mitchell and James Harden were only taking floaters. They were only taking floaters. Watch this game back. Every layup they took, they missed. James Harden hit 2 layups in the entire night. All the rest were floaters. So Eddie in the TikTok is asking me, what's wrong with a floater? If they're going in, then why stop? Floaters don't get foul calls. If you attempt floater after floater after floater, you're not going to the line. That's why you guys had no free throws last night. You attempted 11 layups. You got fouled on 3 of them. 4 of them, my apologies. You attempted 11 layups, and you got fouled on 4 of them, and you made 3 of them. Sorry, math is hard. So if you're avoiding contact, why should you be rewarded for avoiding contact? And it happened, by the way. It happened. Go watch the game from last night. James Harden was getting free throws. How many did he have? James Harden had 9 free throws. So you guys were getting free throws, just not at a rate that you guys were used to. You were spamming floaters. So why would you get free throws for floaters? My point being, you are complaining about a 35 to 16 free throw discrepancy, but understand why there's that discrepancy to begin with. If you don't seek contact, if you don't go for layups, then you're not going to get fouled. You're not going to get free throws. That is why. So I'm not going to listen to people saying Pistons were favored by the refs. This is Detroit. This is Detroit. I've been a Detroit fan through and through since I was born. The refs will never favor Detroit. Last night, the Pistons attempted, and you got to count them, 34 layups. 34 layups and or dunks. The Cavaliers attempted 11. So if you're wondering where your free throws were at, that's the statistic you should then pay attention to. Your team doesn't want to drive to the hoop. Your team just wants to settle for a floater. That's not the ref's fault. That's not the ref's fault. 34 layups to 11 layups. So now that I talked about that, Cavs fans, you guys can agree or disagree. Let's talk about another issue. The Pistons forced the most turnovers in the NBA this season. Above the Thunder. They forced the most turnovers in the entire NBA this season. And, well, the Cavaliers delivered on that. The Cavaliers turned the ball over 20 times. Anytime the Pistons are going to have less turnovers than the other team and out-rebound them as well, they're not going to lose the basketball game. They're not. We'll talk about matchups here in a second, but James Harden had more turnovers than he did made field goals. He had 22 points, and I'm not going to disrespect James Harden like crazy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. You know why? Without James Harden, they lose by 30 last night. I'm not going to disrespect James Harden. It's only the 145th playoff game where he had more turnovers than made field goals. Oops. I'm not going to insult James Harden because without him, they got smoked by 30 last night. He had them going in the fourth quarter. He was getting free throw after free throw after free throw after free throw after free throw in the fourth quarter. He was getting floater after floater after floater in the fourth quarter. He did his thing. Donovan Mitchell, non-existent in the second half. Non-existent. He was 9 for 19 last night, 4 for 10 from 3, and I lost count. I got to give a massive shout out to Duncan Robinson. He's not a good defender, but he tries on defense. And last night, the refs were calling him a foul every time. Duncan Robinson had 5 fouls. He was guarding Donovan Mitchell like this. Just clear cut like this. And yeah, he was scoring on Duncan Robinson, but you guys need to go back and watch the lowlights of this game. Donovan Mitchell, they were targeting Duncan Robinson the entire fourth quarter. They were targeting them in the entire fourth quarter. Duncan Robinson every single time in the action. They did what they were supposed to do. The issue is Donovan Mitchell, bro. Guys, my podcast listeners, I might be silent for a quick second because I'm showing a demonstration on what he was looking like last night. All right, here we go. All night. Tween, spin. Tween, spin. Tween, spin. Put up a stupid ass floater. Every time. And Eddie, you just said, and still cooked your sorry players. He had 23 points. He was a -7 on the court. He had 3 turnovers and he shot 9 for 19. If that's cooking us, then yeah, we'll take him cooking us every single night. They were targeting Duncan Robinson the entire fourth quarter, and that helped them come back because they were calling every foul on Asar Thompson and Duncan Robinson all night. They were calling them for fouls all night. And all he was doing was spamming dribble moves all game. And they were just ending up in floaters if he was lucky. Now let's talk about the big man matchup, because this is the matchup that I said we should be worried about. Jalen Duren on Jared Allen. Let's start with that. Jared Allen has no answer for Jalen Duren. 0. He got in foul trouble immediately. He got 3 fouls in the first quarter. All of them fouls. And they can't stop him. They can't stop Jalen Duren. And in fact, I have to talk about Jared Allen first and foremost. It's actually malpractice what I see Kenny Atkinson do for Jared Allen. The fact that he didn't come into the game until later in the fourth quarter, and then he came in and then got cooked by Cade and Duren 3 plays in a row. I'm sure you guys saw those plays. Got cooked. Got straight cooked. And it was disappointing that he didn't get more minutes. But when you see Jared Allen guarding Jalen Duren, it's actually embarrassing. It's very, very, very embarrassing. And yes, Eddie, I will talk about that, but I'm going in order right now. Eddie, I know you're in the TikTok and you're a Cavs fan and you're very angry with me. Don't get angry with me because you're angry at the Cavaliers. Guys, Eddie wants me to say, so are you not worried about the fact that the Cavs had 20 turnovers and managed to only lose by 10? No, I'm not, because Cade Cunningham isn't going to shoot 6 for 19 again, uncontested. No. Jalen Duren is not going to shoot 4 for 11 again, uncontested. So no, I'm not worried about that. I am worried about the Cavaliers, but I'm not worried about winning by 10. I'm not. The Pistons lead the NBA this season in most wins by single digits. You need to hear me again. The Pistons lead the NBA in most wins in single digits. Okay? So I'm not worried about that. Let's focus on Jalen Duren absolutely babying Evan Mobley and Jared Allen all night. Jalen Duren, if you look at the box score, and this is why I don't care about box scores all that much. If you look at the box score and you see how poorly he shot last night, you'd say, man, Duren, he sucks. He's really bad this playoffs. Guys, I'm going to say something that I never thought would leave my mouth. I'm going to say something that I never thought that would leave my mouth. And Eddie, you're telling me, all right, Jay-Z, I'll talk to you Friday morning and we'll see. I'm still worried about the Cavaliers. They're a great team. But last night, it was a cakewalk. It was. I still have the Cavaliers winning, but after what the Pistons did last night, I'm not too worried about it. Guys, Jalen Duren, right? And this is the thing. From the first round, I wanted Jalen Duren off the court, and I wanted Isaiah Stewart to play. It was clear who was the better center in that series. Can't believe this is coming out of my mouth, but I don't want to see Isaiah Stewart in a game if he's going to play the way he did last night. If you guys watch the game with your 2 eyes, you'd know what I'm talking about. Isaiah Stewart was getting out-rebounded. Isaiah Stewart was not focused or looking at the hoop to score. Isaiah Stewart was not good last night. In fact, I'll go as far as to say that was the worst game I've ever seen Isaiah Stewart play in his entire NBA career. And there's a guy in the TikTok, and I'm not going to acknowledge his name because I'm going to shut him up real quick with the facts that I have. Jalen Duren last night, when he was on the court, nobody could stop him. I'm not talking about the missed buckets. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what he did everywhere else on the game. Remember when I said you can tell if somebody looked at a box score or not? Go watch this game back and go watch Jalen Duren exclusively. He had 11 points. Not good. He had 12 rebounds. 7 of them were offensive rebounds. I need to reiterate myself. 7 of them were offensive rebounds. Duren also had 4 assists, 2 blocks that literally sealed the game. And he was 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Mobley and Allen cannot guard or box Jalen Duren out. Last night was the most engaged I've ever seen Jalen Duren play in 35 minutes ever. I've never seen Jalen Duren that engaged defensively and on the glass. Last night, he looked absolutely monstrous. And the 6 points that he got at the end of the game that sealed the game, it was incredible. It was incredible. Cade to Duren, it worked 3 times in a row. They doubled Cade. He hit Duren. He got easy dunks. Guys, by the way, a guy in the TikTok said, guy lied about watching the game. Who's going to tell him that I've watched every Pistons game in the last 18 years, bro? Who's going to tell him, bro? Who's going to tell him? Mobley played soft last night. He was getting pushed around everywhere. Jared Allen got pushed around everywhere. That's why he got 3 fouls on him. It's really unfortunate that Cavs fans are blind to their team's mistakes. I, as a Pistons fan, will get into the mistakes of the Pistons fans, but this is why I'm going to talk about the Cavs here before I move on. The Cavaliers last night had Magnet Ball, Max Strus Magnet Ball in the third quarter. I believe he had 10 points in the third quarter. Max Strus had 19 points off the bench. He hit 4 threes, 7 for 13. Dennis Schroeder had 9 points, hit a 3 as well. Keon Ellis hit a 3, but he was 1 for 4. Thomas Bryant, they were getting killed in those minutes. And then if I got to speak of this as well, if Sam Merrill is going to remain out because he hurt his left hamstring yesterday, if he's going to remain out, this is really bad for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Sam Merrill is their best three-point shooter. Sam Merrill is extremely strong for his size, and you should be worried if Sam Merrill isn't going to play. I believe Max Strus should start. Now, Cavs fans will come out and say, Jared Allen foul trouble, Jared Allen foul trouble, Jared Allen foul trouble. You guys got to understand why big men get in foul trouble. You guys got to understand. Watch the tape. He couldn't guard Duren. He could not defend. So he was hacking. He was disengaged. Last night, Jared Allen looked like how he looked in the first 6 games of the Cavs Raptor series. He only had a good game 7. And to see him come out last night, not playing the second quarter, come back in and still be soft. 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 4 fouls. Jared Allen, if he continues playing like that, this is going to be a sweep. They need Jared Allen to perform well. They need Evan Mobley. And here's the thing. Yesterday I said, who did I say was my X factor for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Who was the reason why I picked Cavs in 6? Who was the reason why? It's Evan Mobley. Did Mobley score in the second half? He had 6 in the third quarter, 0 in the fourth quarter, 0 for 2. They contained Evan Mobley. He was my X factor. He had 14 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. He wasn't aggressive. Honestly, for a large portion of the game, you would think, is Mobley even in the game right now? They contained him. And if you contain Mobley, you can let Donovan Mitchell go for 30. He didn't. You can let James Harden go for 30. He didn't. So long as you hold Evan Mobley under 20, you're going to win the game. You're going to win the game. They're not going to get 19 from Max Strus off the bench again. They're not. And the same thing can be said about Duncan Robinson getting 19 starting. Why are you daring Duncan Robinson to shoot threes? Are you guys good? 5 for 8 from deep. Asar Thompson's defense is impeccable. They all night, bro, all night, their one goal was to get Asar off of Donovan Mitchell. And they just targeted Duncan Robinson all night. And they were calling fouls every single time Duncan Robinson was on defense. Tobias Harris, a smooth 20 points, consistent. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Evan Mobley was not guarding Tobias Harris. If Evan Mobley is not guarding Tobias Harris, wrap this series up in 5 games. Evan Mobley needs to be defending Tobias Harris. They kept putting Jalen Tyson, James Harden, who was the other guy? Max Strus, Dean Wade. Why do you have smaller defenders on Tobias Harris? Have you not learned? Have you not learned? And then, of course, my favorite play of the entire night. My favorite play of the entire night. And I think it was everybody's favorite play of the entire night if you're a Pistons fan. Because Ausar Thompson with Amen Thompson courtside genuinely is not a real human being. Do you see how far he is? Do you see how far Ausar Thompson is? Keon Ellis is driving. Dennis Jenkins does a great job keeping up. And Ausar Thompson, out of nowhere, swats that shit. How do somebody move that fast? How does somebody put their body on the line like that for just a normal block in a second quarter? How does somebody move like this? And Amen Thompson sitting courtside. I mean, he's used to this. He's used to this. He's not even in the frame. He's not in the frame. And Ausar Thompson comes out of nowhere and swats that shit. It's unbelievable. And all in all, I haven't talked about the Pistons at all. I've really just been talking about the Cavs. Cade is not going to have that bad of a game again. And it's crazy because that's bad by Cade standards. He shot 6 for 19, 2 for 5 from 3, but he had 9 for 11 free throws. And of course, Ron Holland hit a buzzer-beating 3 going into the fourth quarter. Ron Holland got time played, and I told you Ron Holland would get minutes. I told everybody that Ron Holland would get minutes last night, and he was incredible. He was incredible. He had 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 2 for 3 from the field, and that buzzer-beating 3 to send us into the fourth quarter. Also, Javonte Green at the end of the first quarter hitting that pull-up 3 as well. Now, Cade was not defended well at all this game. He was getting all the shots he wanted. He got all the shots he wanted. They just weren't dropping. They weren't falling. He got all the shots he wanted, but he shot 6 for 19. Jalen Duren, silly mistakes, 4 for 11. He's not going to miss those again. He was incredible all night. He's not going to miss those again. Tobias Harris was 6 for 14. He had a great game. Ausar, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 for 6 from the field. And Dennis Jenkins came into this game, and yes, he was getting overzealous with some of the shots that he was taking, but Dennis was incredible last night. Dennis was the difference maker last night. We got to talk about Dennis Jenkins because I usually crucify JB Bickerstaff for taking Ausar Thompson out in the fourth quarter. In fact, I'm going to end the TikTok. If you guys want more of this stream, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. We're not even close finishing this episode. We still got to talk about Lakers, Thunder, and the rest of this game. So be sure to come through to the Twitch stream, guys. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link in my bio. Only reason I'm ending the TikTok is because we didn't get put in the algorithm today. We got to talk. We got to talk about JB Bickerstaff real quick. Guys, that was the best game I've ever seen JB Bickerstaff coach. Ever. That was the best game I've ever seen JB Bickerstaff coach. Remember me saying this, because next game I might say that was the worst game JB Bickerstaff has ever coached. That was the best game I've ever seen Bickerstaff coach. And with 6.5 minutes left in the game. No, 6 minutes left in the game. JB noticed that our offense was super stagnant. And the default response from JB Bickerstaff has always been take Ausar out. He hasn't done that since game 1 that we lost against the Magic, which lost us the game, which lost us the series against the Knicks last year. He hasn't done that since game 1 of the Magic. Last night, he did it. And I stood up from my couch and I said, uh-oh. JB took Ausar out. Is he falling back into his old habits? Ray and Cam, thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. Shout out to you goats for leaving that shitty stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. Welcome, guys. Be sure to join the Discord, guys. Be sure to join the Discord, Ray and Cam. I appreciate y'all very much. And if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I'll gift you a $6 sub so you no longer get ads, bro. He took Ausar out at the 6-minute mark. And Dennis, on a night like that, he was everything the Pistons needed. Ball movement, Another ball handler. It worked. The Pistons rattled off a 7-0 run, sealed the game, and he brought back Asar for the final minute and a half just for defense, and it worked. So JB, he did his thing last night. Now, Duncan was super energetic last night. He was doing his thing. He hit 5 threes. That was by far Duncan Robinson's best game of the playoffs so far. Dennis was incredible. I got to give him credit. And you know what? I got to credit JB Bickerstaff as well. He stuck with Dennis when I said give up on him in the Magic series. But Dennis was a huge reason why we even beat the Magic later in the series. He's the reason that we won last night. The reason I said to go back to what I said at the start of this segment, this felt like a regular season game. And it's because the Pistons' depth showed. In fact, last night was all about the role players. And all the games, it was all about the role players. The Pistons, the Cavs, the Lakers, maybe not the Lakers, the Thunder, it was all about the role players last night. Cade had a horrible game. Jalen Duren had a horrible game offensively. Incredible everywhere else. And the role players stepped up. And the team that everyone said whose role players suck beat the team that said that they have the best role players in the NBA. Everybody else did their thing. Cade was missing easy looks that he always hits. Pistons fans should be excited. Cavs fans should be concerned, because the thing is, the Cavaliers have averaged 18 turnovers a game this playoffs. That's the most in the NBA playoffs this year. In fact, they've committed the most turnovers since 1996 in the playoffs. They've committed the most turnovers by a team since 1996. It's only been 8 games, guys. And they've already committed the most turnovers ever by a team in 20 years. It's been 8 games, and they've already broken that record. So, Cavs fans should be concerned by the turnovers. That's not going to slow down. They had 20 last night, and they averaged 18 so far in these 8 games of the playoffs. If the Pistons continue to win the possession battle, and the role players just give you something, this is going to be a fun series, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a very fun series. Karis LeVert got 9 minutes. He shouldn't touch the court again, even though he's a plus 13. He was just in the middle of the run. He shouldn't touch the floor again. JB, please stop putting him in. Ron Holland, this series was built for him. You need another perimeter defender for when they give Asar and Duncan every foul in the book. JB Bickerstaff literally had to burn a challenge because they kept calling fouls on Asar, and he got the challenges right. So shout out the Pistons for this big win. And if the Cavs continue playing no defense, this series shouldn't be close, because they need to play defense. And the Pistons defense, I mean, it goes without saying, it's one of the greatest defenses we've seen in the last 10 years. It's crazy. Before we move on, I'd like to give a couple shout outs to some guys. Love, Dusty Max, Big Dave, and Junior. Thank you guys so much for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate y'all very, very much. Guys, if you are enjoying today's stream, be sure to join our Discord as well. We do these Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'd love to have you guys join the Discord. We host watch parties. We hang out. We talk in there all about hoops. And remember, if you guys watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription so you no longer get ads. All in all, having Donovan Mitchell, who doesn't play defense, having James Harden that doesn't play defense, it's a lot better than going up against Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Desmond Bane, Anthony Black, and all those other demons. All those other demons. Junior said, I disagree. Cade played horrible. I understand not shooting ball well. What? I mean, Big Dave, I hope you're right, but what are you talking about? That's why Pistons fans should be happy, because Cade had a horrible offensive game and they still won. So I don't know what you're talking about. But Cade has been arguably the best player in the entire playoffs so far. Right behind Shea. That's how great Cade has been. He's averaging 33 points per game in these playoffs. Last night he had a bad game and the Pistons won. The Pistons won the bad Cade game. So Pistons fans should be happy about that. And if they can just continue attacking Harden, who plays no defense, and Donovan Mitchell, who plays no defense, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. And it's so funny because a guy named Seatown, I'm assuming that's Cleveland, he said Pistons bench came through once in a blue moon. Actually, the Pistons had the best bench in the entire NBA this season. That's why they were number 1 in almost every statistic around the NBA as far as depth goes. That's why I said last night it looked like a regular season game, because during the regular season, The Pistons won games because of their depth. So it's great to see that lasted. That lasted. It was a really fun game. I enjoyed myself. Cardiac hoops is always a good time. But yeah, Cade had a great game. He just was horrible offensively. And the Pistons won that game. And that's great. And that's great. That's great. All right, guys. That's going to do it for that game. Again, TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. It's a much better experience over here. Now, the reason I said this is going to be a shorter episode is because there's really not a whole lot to say. I'm sorry, Thunder fans. I know you guys expect me to like gas y'all up beyond belief, but this is just difficult to do. The Thunder proved too much for the Los Angeles Lakers and take game one, 108-90. They take a series lead, 1-0. Y'all, it's not going to be a fun series, bro. It's not going to be a fun series. The Thunder played arguably one of the worst games I've seen all year, and they still won by 18. They still won by 18. Shea didn't score 20. He only had 3 free throws. He shot 8 for 15. I knew AJ Mitchell would have a big series. He came in and dropped 18. Yeah, Chet was incredible last night. 9 for 17. He was 2 for 2 from deep. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks as well. The paint is his. Jared McCain was incredible off the bench. I loved what I saw from him. 12 points off the bench, 4 for 7 shooting. He hit 4 threes. You're not going to lose a game if Jared McCain is hitting 4 threes. Yes, we already talked about the Pistons. What can I say about the Lakers? I guess we can go in depth about this. LeBron is 41, guys. I don't know if you know that. He's 41. You should not be relying on him, and yet you are. And I think Solo in my Twitch chat just said it best. If there was a game the Lakers were going to take, it was this one. The Thunder were tired. The Thunder were rusty. They had their chance and they blew it. They didn't even blow it. They just can't compete with this. DeAndre Ayton got played off the court as he did all of the games they played the Thunder this year. You can't play DeAndre Ayton against the Thunder. It's never worked. It's never worked. Go look at the regular season as well. He averages the least amount of minutes played against Oklahoma City. Austin Reeves. If Austin Reeves played in Utah or Austin Reeves played in New Orleans, sorry, Liam, or Austin Reeves played in Brooklyn, you'd never hear this guy. You'd never hear about him. You'd never hear. He hasn't been good since November. He has not been good since November. So I'm sick of this. Austin Reeves had a bad game. Austin Reeves hasn't been good. He hasn't. He was playing at an all-star level for 2 weeks. You guys hold on to this idea of Austin Reeves. He played well for a stretch of games for 2 weeks. Now, is he good for a third option? Yes, he is. He's good for a third option. He is. He can't be a number 1 or a number 2. He can't. He's okay for a third option, but I said it in my Discord server last night. I said Austin Reeves, and this is Lakers fans are gonna get upset by this, but I promise I'm not rage baiting y'all. Austin Reeves, I compared his game. He's just a taller Dennis Jenkins, except he doesn't play any defense, and he foul baits. There's no difference. They're both ball dominant players. They can't facilitate, he can't facilitate. And he can't create his own shot anymore. He can't. He's got an incredible whistle. 3 for 16. He shot 3 for 16 last night. 8 points. I'm not rage baiting. He doesn't play defense. He baits fouls. He's a third option. But this is Austin Reeves. He has not been good since November. Has he had a couple good games here and there since November? Sure. You can swipe off, Christian. That's fine. I know you're a delusional Lakers fan that probably thought that you guys were going to the finals this year with Luka. But it wasn't going to happen. You guys can have Luka if you want. You guys would still probably lose in 5 at best to the Oklahoma City Thunder. No, I haven't been waiting for this to happen. In fact, I've been dreading it for a while now because I don't like talking about the Lakers. I don't. You get the dumbest fans in the world whenever I talk about the Lakers. That's why I didn't start the show with them today. You get the dumbest fans when you talk about the Lakers. Genuinely. And I don't mean that to disrespect anybody. It's just when you have Lakers fans, you have to respect that they only watch the playoffs. The majority of Lakers fans just watch the playoffs. The people on my Discord server and my Twitch stream, they watch the Lakers all throughout the year. But most Lakers fans, they only watch the playoffs. And a fully healthy Lakers team would take one game off of the Oklahoma City Thunder. This was the worst game I've seen the Thunder play probably since like December. It was. If the Lakers are going to win a game, it was this one. I hate talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. I know why Stephen A. Smith does it. I know why Max Kellerman does it. I know why all of these sports heads, the floating heads, I know why they all talk about the Lakers. It gets clicks. Look, I talked about the Pistons and Cavs, and I peaked at 60 viewers on TikTok. I've been talking about the Lakers for a minute, 2 minutes, and we're at 170 views right now. They get clicks. I'll give them that. But I hate talking about them. I hate talking about him. Marcus Smart, you are getting, right now, we'd like to call it the green light Marcus Smart. My Boston Celtics fans know what I'm talking about. When Marcus Smart has the green light, this is what you're subjected to. Do you guys remember the game that he had in the first round series? I think he had like, 26 or 27 points or some shit? I literally said, don't expect that ever again. And now here we are. He's 4 for 15, 2 for 8 from 3. He's got the green light, and he's just ball hogging. He's taking dumb shot after dumb shot. And now I got to talk about the guy that Lakers fans just learned his name when they traded for him. Luke Kennard, the Nard Dog, the guy the Pistons drafted over Donovan Mitchell. Luke Kennard is a great basketball player, but he's terrified to shoot when he has a defender within 10 feet of him. And since that 27-point game, that has been Luke Kennard. He's scared to shoot. He's terrified to hold the ball. He played 29 minutes last night, minus 14 on the court, and he was 1 for 4. This is Luke Kennard. Not that game one that you saw. This is Luke Kennard. And I tried telling everybody, Luke Kennard is not going to do it for y'all, man. He's not going to let it fly. He's not. He's never been that kind of player. He needs to have 10 feet wide open for him to shoot. Jake LaRavia was out there doing cardio. Jared Vanderbilt had one of the nastiest dislocated fingers I've ever seen. Jackson Hayes, JJ Redick is a good coach, but he always relies on Jackson Hayes against the Oklahoma City Thunder because DeAndre Ayton gets played off the court. You guys can look at all the regular season matchups. JJ Redick does not play DeAndre Ayton against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Every time I turned this game on, Jackson Hayes was in, and he only had 16 minutes. Rui Hachimura had a great game. He can still shoot. LeBron, where do I start with LeBron? Where do I start with him? He had an incredible game. And what I saw last night, was a man trying to will his team to win, but he just couldn't do it. And it was upsetting. It was depressing. And I genuinely hope he gets more help. But I just don't know, man. I just don't know, bro. I just don't know. I don't like what I'm seeing. He's 41 years old. He's 41, y'all. And even with Luka, it's 5 games, bro. It's 5 games. Austin Reeves, again, he has not been good since November. So I'm not going to get in the conversation about Austin Reeves. He's probably going to get 4 years, $150 million. And you're going to look at that contract exactly how you look at Christian Brown. You are. I don't want to talk about the series. I was not looking forward to this series. I was hoping the Rockets would beat the Lakers so that I don't have to talk about the Lakers anymore. Because Lakers fans are the hardest people to talk to. They're the hardest people to talk to. Lakers lose. This was their game to win. And it's going to be a rough series from here on out. It's going to be a rough series. So if you're a Laker fan, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not going to be talking about y'all a whole lot for the I'm sorry to Thunder fans in particular. I'm sorry that you guys got to play against this team. The Lakers suck against athletic teams. They got destroyed by the Pistons in both games they played this year. Did you expect the Thunder to not destroy them either? They're bad against athletic teams. There's nobody really more athletic than the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Lakers play slow. The Lakers are slow. The Lakers are not athletic. They stand no chance to teams with athleticism. They don't. They don't. Oh, geez. I like what Mark said as well. Lakers' problem is that they have no dogs on the team. They got Marcus Smart. You got a whole lot of chihuahuas around him. There's really nobody else, man. There's nobody else. TikTok, if you guys are enjoying today's stream, just remember, we are live on Twitch Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. The Twitch channel is Jay-Z Uncut. The link is in my bio, everybody. If you just click the profile picture at the top left, click the link in my bio and come through to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut. If you guys watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription so you no longer get ads on Twitch. It's a much better experience over here, guys. Not only that, not only is Twitch a better experience for you, but you can make friends, join our community where we talk hoops and hang out and just vibe, and our watch parties that we host weekly in our Discord server. Where I'm in there, everybody else is in there. I'd love for you guys to join the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. And shout out to my Lakers fan, Life Over Death. He said, I didn't think it was too hard to talk. I don't think it's too hard to talk to as a Lakers fan. You're easy to talk to. You're easy to talk to. Most Lakers fans, it's extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult. And shout out to Tracy and Liam for the resubs. I appreciate you guys. I'll say thank you again after today's episode. There's really not much more I can say about this game. There's not much more. Get the brooms out, man. Get the brooms out. Why do you need Luka back, TikTok? Why do you need Luka back? You don't need Luka back. Let Luka rest. You ain't. What are you gonna do? Win one game? You're gonna win one game if Luka comes back. Michael, the reason why TikTok, you guys think that I'm a Lakers hater. I'm not. But I just haven't been a believer like everybody else. I haven't been a believer in them. They have the 10th worst defense in the entire NBA. Why would I believe in this team? Steve in the TikTok said, Luka's going to come back and win the series. Brother, you have a AI-generated profile picture of you, I assume, wearing a Lakers jersey, and maybe your girlfriend or wife wearing a jersey right next to you. Yeah, that's a Lakers fan, shit. That's a Lakers fan. TikTok, join the Twitch stream. Get out of there, bro. Get out of there. Join the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio, guys. Join the Twitch. Get away from all those idiots in the TikTok. It's a much better experience over here. Get the brooms out, man. Get the brooms out. Don't waste Austin. Don't waste Luka Doncic. All right, guys. It's time for our stud of the night. This was difficult. I didn't know who to give the stud of the night to. I can't give it to LeBron. I know he had the best stats of last night from any other player. I can't give it to a guy on a losing team. I can't do it. I know he's 41. I can't give him the stud of the night. I can't give it to Chet. Because he pisses me off. Because he should be doing this every night. He should. He's too good. He's too athletic. He's too big. It was 9 for 17 as well, which is okay. I can't give it to Shea. He didn't have a game that he normally has. I did not want to pick a Piston, but I think I have to, considering it's his best game of the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, my stud of the night is none other than Mr. Timmy Turner, Duncan Robinson himself. Last night in 28 minutes, he had 19 points, 2 assists, 2 big steals, and he shot 7 for 12 from the field and 5 for 8 from three-point land. Now, the main reason I'm giving it to Duncan, or sorry, did I say Timmy Turner? I meant Sheen. Sorry. The reason I'm giving it to Duncan Robinson is because he was getting attacked all night. Especially in that fourth quarter. Go watch it back. Every single screen they set, they were attacking Duncan Robinson all night. Obviously, Asar Thompson can get it, but, stud of the night, I'm giving it to Duncan because this was his best game of the playoffs so far, and we really needed it. He held his own. He held his own defensively. If the refs didn't give him 4 fouls in the first 10 minutes of him playing, he wouldn't have had this kind of game. Duncan had an incredible game, and I think my favorite play of the whole night is when he got an and one. That's right, Duncan Robinson got an and one, taking a floater, and chest bumped James Harden, and James Harden didn't take it lightly. James Harden got very, very upset, and he shoved Duncan. But when you see Duncan Robinson have this amount of energy and this excitement, the Pistons are going to win that game. They're going to win that game. If he's feeling himself like that, they're going to win. They're going to win. So, ladies and gentlemen, Duncan Robinson is my stud of the night. I thought he was awesome last night. I thought he was great. And yeah, man, Pistons got it done. The Thunder got it done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I said today was going to be a shorter episode. It's 50 minutes. That's short compared to the rest of this week. Yesterday was over an hour. The day before that was an hour and 45 minutes. So that's going to do it for today's show. All right. Tonight we have the Knicks and Sixers and the Timberwolves and the Spurs. Let's talk about them. The Knicks are favored by 7.5 points. I think that line is pretty good. I think that line is pretty accurate. I think, excuse me, guys, whenever I'm silent for 3 seconds, just assume I'm taking a sip of water. These daily podcasts are hard to do by yourself because, I don't have somebody to bounce over and they can say, yes, Jay-Z, I agree with what you're saying. It's just me here. It's just me. Do I believe the Knicks can go 2-0 at home? Yes, I do. I believe they can. All I'm going to need is half of the Joel Embiid ISO plays, please and thank you. I don't want to watch Joel Embiid have the ball for 10 minutes of the 12 minutes of a quarter. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't think 76ers fans, I don't think they want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Joel Embiid get the ball at the elbow and just hold it for 20 seconds out of the clock. I don't want to. Inshallah. Shout out my arrows in this bit. Inshallah, the Philadelphia 76ers make this game competitive. Inshallah, they have Tyrese Maxey play like Tyrese Maxey. I want him to be the number one option. Do pick and rolls with him and Embiid, not with Embiid and Oubre, and make this game close. Now, what I will say, the Knicks have been dropping game 2 like crazy. This year, last year, they dropped game 2. If Philly wants a chance this series, they have to win this game. They can't go to Philadelphia down 0-2. They can't. They can't. So with that mentality, I think you're going to get a very hungry Philadelphia team. But my overall prediction, the Knicks are playing the best basketball I've ever seen them play. In my life. In my life. They are playing the best basketball I've ever seen them play. Do I think it'll carry on over tonight? I do. I'm going to take the Knicks. I think Philly is going to cover this line. I think the Knicks win by 6. I think the Knicks win by 6. I think it's going to be a close game. But I think the Knicks are going to ink it out. And the series is over there. If they're up 2-0, going back to Philadelphia, I don't think Philly has it in them. I don't. But I think the Knicks win by 6. I think. And if they lose, it's by 20, bro. If they lose, it's by 20. There's no in between. All right. If they lose, it's by 20. And all I'm praying for, can I just be real with everybody? I know it's just one game. I know we've only watched one game. I know. But there's nothing more I want than a Pistons-Knicks rematch in the conference finals. There's nothing more I want. It's not because I think the Pistons would walk them. It's not because of that. I just want to watch that series so badly. There's nothing more I wanted this year than to play the Knicks again. And if the only chance of doing that is in the conference finals, I believe the Knicks will get there. But I hope the Pistons can prevail against the Cavaliers. I think, can I be honest with everybody? I'm not going to have any beef with Knicks fans whatsoever. like, I just want to enjoy that series because that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. I think it's just going to be the most entertaining series we've probably had. I mean, obviously last year we had Pacers versus Knicks, which was incredible series, but they finished it in 6. I think it'll be a lot. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And, you know, I always credit the New York Knicks for making the Pistons stronger. It really is. That first round series made the Pistons grow up a lot. And I got to shout out the Orlando Magic because they made the Pistons hell of a lot stronger as well this year in the first round. So shout out both the Knicks and shout out both the Magic. Like, I love our opponents, bro, because they really do make the Pistons better. And as a young team, what's better than going up against the best? Let's go ahead and move on to the next game tonight. We got Timberwolves versus Spurs. The Spurs are favored by 9.5. I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. Steve Kerr said it best. Steve Kerr said it best. Dude, the TikTok hurts my... You know what? I'm ending the TikTok. If you guys want more of stream, come through to the Twitch. This guy in the TikTok literally just said, doesn't want beef with Knicks fans, but says Pistons would walk the Knicks down. TikTok, have a blessed day. You guys are actually brain dead. You guys just make up my word. We're live on Twitch. If you guys want more stream, we're live on Twitch. Fuck everybody in the TikTok, except for the homie Killwell over there. I love you, bro. If you guys want more stream, come to the Twitch. I'm ending the TikTok. Bye, guys. You can blame that moron fuck. Excuse my French, podcast listeners. I apologize. They just make shit up, bro. It's crazy. They just make shit up. I got the Spurs winning this game. I got the Spurs winning. As Steve Kerr said best, when a road team wins game 1, their hunger goes away for game 2 because they go into game 2 saying, all right, man, we got our one. We got our one. We got our one. And that's all they came for. As long as you can split it, that's all they care about. That's all. By the way, King Tough, I don't get rage baited by TikTok. Most of the time, if you've been here for a while, you'd understand I overreact to TikTok messages just so I can say I'm ending the TikTok so that they'd come through to the Twitch. You're going to watch the view count jump a little bit here. Believe me, bro, I've been doing this for a long time. Not NBA, but I've been streaming on TikTok for a long time. I got the Spurs winning tonight. They're favored by 9.5, and I think that's a pretty good line. I think Ant's going to play better, even though he was great efficiency-wise. But I think Ant will be better tonight, but I think I still got the Spurs winning. I don't think Wemby's going to go 0 for 8 from 3 again. I think he's going to utilize his size the way he's supposed to. I don't think it's a shoo-in. I don't think it's a for sure thing that's going to happen. But I do have the Spurs winning. I don't see them dropping both games at home, and I don't think any of you guys do either. I think the Spurs just need to clean up the way they play, not settle for threes because they're not a three-point shooting team. And I wonder if Ant is coming off the bench again. It would be very interesting to see. But I'm really excited for that game. Starts at 9:30 p.m., so I'll be able to watch the majority of it. And I'm happy the 76ers Knicks game starts at 7. I don't like when the games overlap too much, so I think that's perfect. 7 and 9:30. That is my ideal time for NBA games. Yeah, I think I got the Spurs winning and the Knicks winning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it for today's show. I appreciate everybody so much for watching and listening as always. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok is over. Sorry, I forgot I ended that. Twitch chat. Guys, do me a huge favor. Join the Discord. ! Discord in the Twitch chat. Join the Discord. We host watch parties in there. We hang out. We talk. We make friends. I mean, bro, I've had literally people meet up in person now because of this community. And that's been incredible. So be sure to join the Discord. If you're not in there already, you are missing out. I don't think I'm doing a watch party tonight. I have to help Artie with some work that she has to do. Like during the game, I'm going to have to I need to listen to something. She's doing some cognitive study on me for work. I don't know exactly what it's going to entail, but I have to help Artie with that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it for today's show. You guys know we'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern for stream, 9 a.m. Eastern for the podcast. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope your basketball team wins tonight, and I'll be catching you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Twitch chat, stick around. Love y'all.